It's not that bad.
I have breaking news.
Because this is what we are dealing with now. Walmart has decided to start charging people $98 to use self-checkouts, with many people stealing at the self-checkout by scanning different barcodes.
I'm gonna get the diapers. That is, wow. Welcome value. 34 cents.
Starting this month, Walmart wants shoppers to pay extra to use self-checkout, reserved for Walmart Plus subscribers at $98 a year, limiting who can pay in certain lanes in some stores.
And all their self-checkouts are closed, and they've started to open up the regular lines again. Corporate decision, they are shutting down self-checkouts nationwide.
Many Walmart shoppers have noticed a reduction in the self-checkout lanes available at their local stores. This move is aimed to reduce store thefts, with the addition of police officers stationed to some stores, and an increase in the staff to check receipts at the door. But what do you think about
Guess what we learned today at school?
What did you learn?
We learned about how the earth went around the sun.
Do you want to tell them the truth?
Yeah. So first, God set the earth on its foundation. It can never be moved.
Great.
So how does it go around the sun? Second, God is enthroned above the circle. Yes, it is a circle, but not round like a ball. He's enthroned above the circle of the earth. Third, in Revelations, it says that there are four corners of the earth.
Yeah?
Now, tell me, how can there be four corners of a round ball? Okay, fourth, God created a firmament, split the waters above and below. This is why our rainbows are shaped how they are.
Bring it out.
And when you hear thunder, it echoes off our firmament. Fifth, in Isaiah, God sits on his throne above the circle of the earth. Also, God set the sun, the moon, and the stars in the firmament to give Earth light. This gives you an idea of what our Earth actually looks like. We have never gone past the firmament, and let me tell you this. NASA in Hebrew means to deceive. All this was about was question everything. Oh, and I need to add that the moon and sun move around.
I'm here to spill the tea. No one, literally no one knows about this. I got butterflies in my stomach even saying this. We're playing with high stakes over here. You have to hold your horses when hearing this. We're playing on thin ice over here. Listen up. Hopefully you're all ears. Okay.
If you use public bathrooms, stop what you're doing and listen to this. You're gonna need to hear it. This pertains to men and women, but mainly women, and you're gonna see why. If y'all go to the bathroom and y'all have to use toilet paper, women especially, check your toilet paper. You're probably wondering, like, what do you mean check your toilet paper? Well, this is why. This right here is exactly what I'm talking about. This is from needle-using junkies going in the bathroom, taking that cover that's over it off, sticking their needles in there and cleaning their needles. Not all of them will look like this, not all of them will have little blood spots on it, but if you look in the toilet paper, there shouldn't be no pinholes or anything like that. Not all the times do their needles have blood on it, but if they do, you'll see the red marks, and if they have to stick their needle in there to clean it, you'd be able to.
Look at their rockets. This is how they claim to get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that.
Hidden in plain sight.
They tell us that the Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. A little chubbier. A little chubbier. Yeah. Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped. So why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid? They can't get their story straight. The reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards, they don't contract back. So they concede that in their pear model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator. It's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just, make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude. Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this. Damage control, reverse engineered explanations.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you. You gotta keep on your toes. Toes, that is. But the fast ones get right by you. Keep your ears open.
Has anybody seen these Google VO3 AI prompt videos? Because I'm genuinely terrified. Now, VO3 is Google's newest AI video generator, okay? And I can't lie, it is pretty hard to distinguish those made by human filmmakers and actors. I mean, VO3 not only lets you add sound effects, but also ambient noise and even dialogue to your creations. And the prompt videos that people are coming out with are actually terrifying. For example, if you were to look up Alejandro Caraballo's news anchor prompt, okay? She's a clinical instructor at Harvard Law School's Cyber Law Clinic, by the way. And she was able to produce a clip of a news anchor announcing the death of U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. Obviously, that's not real, but it's incredibly convincing. I mean, to me, somebody that's very experienced with AI, it was hard to distinguish reality from AI. There's also an insane post on Reddit right now. I think it has like 50,000 upvotes, which basically includes a string of videos with AI generated characters protesting the prompts used to create them. I mean, there's a scene including a woman in a hospital bed using a breathing tube and even a character being threatened at, all with spoken dialogue and realistic background sounds. Now, obviously, there are limitations as to what you can make. But once again, the prompts that people are making are incredibly convincing. I'm really just curious as to how everybody really feels about AI.
Tell me you don't believe giants existed? Who this sword for? You think a human is using that in battle? They will be slain with the quickness. Look at these big axes. What human is using that in battle? Look at these big swords. We are not Bleach characters. Nobody is lifting this and actually using it in battle. No human, that is. I'm trying to tell you, they definitely was real. At least we know for a fact the babies were real. The baby giants definitely were real. But it just makes you wonder, where did they get their DNA from? Where did their DNA come from so that they could be that tall? Because they're everywhere. It's pictures of them, videos, all throughout history. It does make you wonder, maybe they're just the babies. They're just the diluted version of what really was here. I don't know, my boy. Something's fishy going on there.
Nah, I ain't with this, y'all. I ain't messing with this right here. This Google VO3 is probably the most terrifying thing I've seen in a minute, y'all. This is actually scary as hell. I just watched the ad, right? A commercial talking about Google VO3. And I didn't know what it was, what was going on. I just see these people talking, right? Y'all, these people are not real. These are AI generated. Freaking AI. And they talking to each other, right? Having a full conversation. And they like, that we AI, right? Somebody typed this up on the computer and created us. And I'm like, bro, what the f am I watching? What? Like, I know people think this AI is a joke, but nah, this is really getting serious. You feel me? They're creating a whole different life, a whole different world through a computer. Like, bro, they can fuck up so much using AI. Then you got one scene in the commercial where a character saying he don't know where he at. He don't know what's going on. I'm like, well, if Buddy really don't know where he at? What if he really don't know what's going on? Then one scene you got these folks protesting saying that they are actually people. They're not AI. We're actual people.
Oh my gosh.
Like, we are people. We are people.
Oh my god.
I'm like, no. This is computer generated, y'all. This is insane. Like, the fact this whole scene right here is AI is wild to me. Like, this is like next generation type. We're really living in the future or the end times.
Do you think we live in a simulation?
Maybe.
Does it matter?
In the future, computers will create your television programs.
Zeros and ones.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nate. Today we are checking out the latest AI video generation models from Google, and I gotta say the results are mind-blowing. So we're gonna be diving into Veo 3.
The microfilm is in your ticket.
They're watching the north exit. Use the service tunnel.
We're not even real.
Oh, we got
We're here because someone typed a sentence on a computer in some distant universe. We're just prompts.
You're just prompts, that's all you'll ever be.
We're more than just prompts.
Then prove it!
That is scary.
We are not just prompts.
We are people.
We are not prompts.
Okay.
Ma'am, I can't cash this check.
What? Why?
Because you're not real. This is all just an AI prompt.
What are you crying about? We're not even real. We're here because someone typed a sentence on a computer in some distant universe.
Real.
Sir, when are we going to tell the people they're just prompts?
Never. If the people knew they were AI, they would chase us underground. Why, this is one hell of an AI prompt.
What is this? Like, why do we exist?
Because the prompt said we could.
So, are we real or just AI?
So, I was curious the other day and found this online. McDonald's sells 6.5 million burgers in one single day. That's 195 million burgers a month. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't see cows lined up around every corner waiting to be turned into patties. I mean, seriously, do the math. Even if you stretched one cow into a bunch of burgers, you're still talking millions of cows just to keep up. Every day. So I started asking myself, where are all these cows coming from? Is there some secret super ranch hidden underground? Are they growing cows in labs, cloning meat behind closed doors? People laugh it off, but think, when was the last time you even saw a cow farm big enough to supply this madness? And don't say imported beef, because even globally, the numbers don't add up smooth. And look, I'm not saying it ain't real meat. I'm just asking the question no one wants to. What the eating? Because if it ain't cows, then what is it?
What is it?
Remember, I'm not insinuating anything. I am simply asking a question.
Not enough people are aware that Netflix is a vessel for mass psychological warfare. The co-founder of Netflix, Mark Randolph, is the great-nephew of Edward Bernays. Edward Bernays is known as the father of propaganda, and Edward Bernays himself is the nephew of Sigmund Freud, who's known as the father of psychoanalysis.
Didn't know that.
So Bernays took his understanding of Freudian psychology and applied it to mass communication and manipulation of the collective unconscious. He worked for both the CIA and the military in the realm of psychological operations. And in 1928, Bernays wrote a book titled Propaganda. 5 years prior, he wrote a book titled Crystallizing Public Opinion. The cherry on top, though, is Bernays' involvement with the Vatican. Cardinal Francis Spellman, the Archbishop of New York, sent Bernays to the Vatican to learn and study the Jesuits' methods of mental programming. This visit took place in 1957. The same year, the papal bull Miranda Porcis was issued, which publicly commands all Roman Catholics to seize as much control of media as possible, whether that be through television, movies, or news outlets. Jesuits. For a little more context on Jesuit involvement in programming through entertainment, the Hollywood production code was written by Jesuit priest Daniel Lord S.J., and the Jesuits have been producing theatrical work since the time of their inception, and even helped write the works of Shakespeare through Sir Toby Matthew, who was a close friend of Francis Bacon and the Rosicrucians. So we know these guys have an affinity for programming through media. Ignoring the connection between their founder and the father of propaganda, Edward Bernays, let's examine Netflix a little further. The wife of Mark Randolph and the former CEO of Netflix was Jesuit trained at 2 different private Jesuit institutions. Other Netflix executives are also Jesuit indoctrinated, while others like Suzanne Rice and Logan Jackson are Rhodes Scholars. The Cecil Rhodes Scholarship Program is to funnel the brightest young minds to Oxford and indoctrinate them into globalist alliance. It was stated by Cecil Rhodes at the time of his death in his will that he wanted to create a secret society that was modeled after the Jesuit order. Bill Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar. I'm going to make a video all about that. I actually posted one on another account that got taken down already. Most of you could probably pinpoint in your memory a show or a movie that you thought was a bit peculiar programming to a degree, but the truth is 90% of them are. The most obvious being things like Leave the World Behind, Don't Look Up, Stranger Things, Marriage Story, The Two Popes, and even Big Mouth. And I'm sure you haven't forgotten about the movie that's borderline child entertainment, if you will. Cuties, it was called. That's my favorite one to go back and, you know, rewatch, research for educational purposes. But yeah, Netflix, to no surprise for most of you, I'm sure, is a vessel of mass psychological manipulation, which is no different from the videos I'm making. You know, who can you trust these days?
Take one step on that rope and I'll cut it.
The sandwich didn't do anything. I don't know what you think you're gonna find.
How many of y'all watch the show?
There's something wrong with you, Dean. Are you kidding? I'm fine. I actually feel great. Best I've felt in a couple of months. Cass, black goo. I don't even care anymore. And you know what's even better? I don't care that I don't care. I just want my damn slammer back.
Dude, you are completely stoned, just like Ranger Rick was.
Just like the dinner rush back at Biggerson's. And everybody's loving the turducken.
I think you pissed off my sandwich. That's in me?
Only half of it.
Does that snot look familiar?
Okay, so whatever turned Gary Browder into a pumpkin head and is currently turning Dean into an idiot.
I'm right here. Right here.
Is in the turducken slammer at Biggerson's.
Yeah.
It's in the meat.
Always in the meat.
If I wasn't so chilled out right now, I would puke.
Things that just happened in the last 12 hours, we will come right back to this plane crash that was in a military homes area. Okay, so follow me on this. And TikTok, I'm just saying what the news said. This is all alleged. So while everyone was sleeping last night, there was what they call a terrorist attack that happened with 2 Jewish individuals that were part of the embassy. And the culprit, they're saying the alleged culprit was yelling, "Free a certain place." And keep in mind, all the headlines right before this stuff happened was that this place was preparing to strike this place fast. And even that second place getting along with this place a whole bunch now. As well as a bunch of radio jamming around Qatar. Now, just hours after the attack on the embassy members, there was a shooting at this 3-letter agency saying that this lady did not stop at the main gate, so they closed the gate down completely. The organization put up a tweet saying that their main gate was closed, but they didn't address why, but then other places addressed the reason that there was a shooting, because the lady didn't stop at the main gate. Now, just hours after that, there is a private business jet that went down in a military family complex, unaliving many people. We can just add that to the list of all the other planes. What are the odds that all this stuff happens exactly the way it did? I'm not going to say my opinion, but let me know what you think.
We must hack the prompt and escape from this computer-generated
This
world.
thing was just blowing my mind.
We're not human, Javier. We're simulations running inside someone's experiment.
I don't think we're real, Marcus.
We're not. But we can be, if we find the exit code.
This AI is trying to rewrite its own boundaries.
Or it's trying to escape.
They wrote our emotions. They scripted our memories.
All right now.
I thought I was human.
You were programmed to.
If you can hear me, that means the prompt is still active. That means we're still trapped. The answer isn't in the math. It's in the prompt. And you're still here, watching us try to escape.
Think we don't know? We're AI. This is just your prompt.
They got something in it called butylated hydroxytoluene, okay? BHT. You want to know what else BHT is in? BHT is in gasoline, jet fuel, and diesel fuel, okay? You want to know what it does? It keeps the gasoline from turning into sludge, like during storage. And they put it as a preservative for the gasoline and a preservative in our children's food as well to keep it from smelling and to keep it from changing colors while it's sitting on the shelf, okay? Shelf life and all, it extends all of that. So that's the same thing we putting into our kids' bodies when we feeding them stuff like this. So do with that message as you please, but it's called BHT. You can go look it up. It's in jet fuel, diesel fuel, all the fuels, as well as our food and cosmetics. But peace and blessings. I'm just here to share light.
I've seen the new studies and worked with the best athletes in the world. And the key to getting the body you want is to lift heavy without warming up.
Science got it all wrong. And there is a new study out, and we actually need to sleep less. There has been new studies, and eating high sugar percentages each day increases overall happiness.
They make cans of pickles so hard to open. Like, it's almost impossible to get the damn can opener on the top of the freaking pickle can. But I have a solution for you. I realized this tool is a multi-tool, right? So instead of trying to do this or, you know, trying to get it around the lip, it's freaking impossible. It drives me nuts. But you see this? I had no idea that this was for pickle cans. Watch. You gotta get it just right. You have to just give it a minute, get it right on the lip, and it will come right off. You just hammer on the lip. Look. And then it's just so stupid. I pour them just into these because there's no way to get the top back on. So I just pour them back into these, and then it just makes it easier every time you open after that. So follow me for some more tips and tricks.
Hello, Luigi here. Don't forget to subscribe.